Monthly horoscopes. Before going into it, only 4% of you are actually subscribed, so if you end up this video useful, please subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind. Gemini Monthly Horoscope for April 2021. Gemini Health Horoscope. A month that is not helpful at all, and one that will force you to pay a great deal of extra attention to your health. Those predisposed to chronic disorders of the digestive tract like constipation, and excess of wind in the digestive tract have reason to redouble their precautions about treatment and diet. This would, to a large extent, enable them to prevent an unfavorable situation from becoming any worse. You may also be led to some unpleasant places and your health may suffer as a consequence. Do not let this happen. Stay away from unpleasant people and places. This is important since your health would depend to a large extent upon this. Gemini Finance Forecast. Nothing particularly encouraging about your financial prospects this month, since the augury from the stars is not too favorable. There is a distinct possibility that at least some of you would be influenced by a mean streak that would goad you on to severely exploit your workers or juniors, subordinates, or even simply people below you in the social strata for your personal advantage. This would be met by stiff resistance, and could then turn into an extremely unpleasant situation. You would do well to curb such tendencies. Even otherwise, the climate could not be congenial for investment and launching of new projects. These could easily get stuck. Therefore, this month postpone such plans to a later and more favorable period. Gemini Career and Profession Predictions. An excellent month during which you would have a lot of opportunity to advance your career. The working climate would remain quite pleasant and congenial with no trace of tension or politicking. And in such an atmosphere you would go on to do very well, realizing expected gains. Association with several gifted people of learning would help in every way. In fact, some of you would go on to make noteworthy contribution in religious and social affairs. Writers and social scientists, economists, administrators connected with such tasks, will also do particularly well. A good month for your career. Gemini Education Horoscope. A negative month during which you might face a lot of problems since the stars are hardly in a favorable mood. Most of you would have to struggle quite a bit to get anywhere near your objectives. Higher education may pose the maximum amount of problems. Therefore, those going in for higher studies must remain patient and not give up in the face of difficulties. Those studying accountancy, journalism and other forms of mass communication would also face difficulties. Candidates for competitive examinations should go in for extra coaching, and work hard if they want to succeed. Quite a negative month, during which you should patiently persevere with your efforts. Gemini Travel Forecast. A set of circumstances would come about that would lead most of you to undertake a good bit of travel in the pursuit of your business ends, with none of it proving fruitful. Most of you would travel by rail or by road, with perhaps a small percentage of it being by air. However, very little would be beneficial. This would even apply to sojourns undertaken, in the most favorable direction, that is north. Even the normal beneficial aspects of travel like pleasure or the opening of fresh opportunity may not be there. Therefore, you should only undertake travel in the most favorable direction, that is north. Gemini Family Prospects. Nothing in the augury from the stars this month that holds out any cheer for your family affairs. Indeed, the atmosphere could well remain largely cheerless. There is the distinct possibility of strained relations with your maternal relatives. The echoes of the strain would be very much audible in your own house. More serious tension could erupt between you and your brothers. This should be averted at all costs. Do not get provoked into any kind of confrontation and draw on your inner reserves to remain calm, otherwise the events could take a catastrophic turn. A trying time, for your family in most ways. Gemini children predictions. There is very little of a favorable nature in the augury from the stars insofar as your children are concerned. There is a likelihood of serious differences with an elderly person, could be a family member, with possible unpleasant consequences. The wards of some of you may also get into differences with servants. Parents would have to take care on this score. The performance of most of them would also tend to be below average. However, some of them may display a higher order of skills with their hands than usual. Those pursuing any practical trade or apprenticeship may do relatively better. Please subscribe the channel, and thanks for watching.